Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss about another algorithm which is used for avoiding the deadlock is said to be Banker's algorithm. So already we discussed about resource allocation algorithm. So which means we have to use the resource allocation graph in order to check whether it will lead to deadlock or not, or in how we can avoid the deadlock. So if you have the resource allocation graph, but it will be applicable only for the single instances of any resource type. So it will not be applicable for multiple instance of resource type. So we are just moving to this Banker's algorithm. So where this algorithm will be applicable for multiple instances of resources of any type. Okay. So here we have several data structure we need to follow in order to represent this algorithm. The first one is available. Available is nothing but after the allocation of all the resource type whichever requested by any number of process, then finally how many number of resources we have belongs to each type of resources. So that is what available. So available means how many number of resources which we have after the allocation of all the resources to the requested process, which is nothing but available. And the next one is max. So max is nothing but the total requirement of the resources by the process. So if there is one process, and what could be the total number of resources it needs to perform its task, that is what max. Max is the data structure which is used to denote the total requirement of all the resources by the process. That is what max. Next one is allocation. So allocation data structure which is used to represent how many number of resources we have allocated to any number of process or to any process. That is what allocation. How many number of resources we have allocated. And the next data structure, that is need, which is used to represent after the allocation of some resources, which means some instances of resources. So what could be the remaining number of resources which it is need by the process. So what could be the additional requirement of the resources by the process, that is what need. So we can get the value of need easily with the help of if you subtract the value of max to with the allocation, then we can get the value of need. So need is nothing but max minus allocation. So need is nothing but max minus allocation, which means so what are all the total requirement it needs, and also allocated resources. So initially we will allocate only to some extent. We cannot allocate the entire number of resources to the process, because we are going to deal with a multiple instance of resources, and also we can work with the environment that we have lot of process simultaneously, and all those process may need some number of instances of same type, some number of same type of resources. So how we are going to grant the resources to each and every process, in which order we are going to allocate the resources. So we cannot allocate the entire number of resources at once in the beginning itself. So to some extent we will allocate the number of resources, and afterwards uh, based on the sequence of the process what we are going to execute, based on it the additional resources will be allocated one by one. And one more thing, so if you are allocating the additional resources to one process, that particular process has to release after usage, after the usage of all the resources. So then it has to release the entire resources whatever it has, and then we can start allocating with the next process. So this is what we should follow, some sequence of execution in some order. We need to follow the execution of all the process. So let us see with the example. So before going to the example, what is the algorithm which we have under this banker? So why it is actually getting the name that is Banker's algorithm? Because we are going to follow the same methodology whatever the bank system are following, because customers will get the money. And one more thing, so bank will not have the situation that the lack of money whenever the customer needs. So it will not get into that particular situation. So to avoid it, it will follow some algorithm or some protocols, that same methodology which we going to follow for the allocation of resources to the process. So that is what we got the name as bankers algorithm. So under this bankers algorithm, we have actually two algorithm. One is safety algorithm and another one is resource request algorithm. So let us see one by one. First one is safety algorithm. So here we have the data structure like work and finish, and the value of work and finish, which is nothing but M and N respectively. So here we have the value of work as available. So length, so what we are actually going to represent these data structures in array manner, in array representation. So that is what we will be having some set of rows and columns which could be represented as M and N. Okay. So I don't want to confuse with all those array representations. So let us see. The value of work is nothing but available. As I said, available is nothing but after the allocation of all the resources to the process, not all the resources, to some extent we will be allocating the resources. So after that, how many number of resources which we have currently, that is what available. That same value we are assigning to work. And the next one is finish of I equal to false, which means we are going to start the process here. So if where I represents the process number, so we can have many number of process, and at the same time we will be allocating the resources to all the process, but we cannot satisfy the maximum need by each and every process. So in the beginning itself, we cannot allocate the entire number of resources by the process, right? That is what the maximum need. So we are just allocating only with the minimum requirement, and afterwards we will be allocating the additional resources whatever it needs, right? So here initially finish of I equal to false, which means we have not yet started. So process has not been allocated, so it does not actually start with their execution. The next one, second, finish of I equal to false, need I is less than or equal to work. So work is nothing but the current available resources, and need I, which is nothing but for any one of the particular process what could be the additional resources. So after the allocation of some resources, so what could be the remaining resources it needs, so which is nothing, need value, which we can calculate easily with the help of max and allocation. So we should subtract the value of max and allocation, so we will be getting the value for need. If no such I exist, go to step 4, which means if the process is not there, currently it is not there, if it finishes its execution, then we will go to the step 4, and we have to enter that, we have to mark that particular process data structure finish to true. Okay. Next, third step, work equal to work plus allocation. So we are just representing one of the process, and we are checking whether its need is less than or equal to work. So if it's so, then we can proceed. We are allocating the additional requirement of that particular process. So we are just allocating all the values based on the value of need. We are just allocating all the resources, and after that it will release the entire resources. That is what we are doing. So after getting all the resources from the particular process, so we are just adding all those resource number with the allocation. So that is what work equal to work plus allocation, and finish of I equal to true, go to step. So we are just moving to the previous step in order to execute for the next process. So let us see with the example so that you can understand easily. Okay. So here we have the example. So let us see, here we have 5 number of process. So here we have 5 number of process and 3 number of resources, which we have A, B, C. So these are all 3 different types of resources, and we have some instances of these 3 resources. So the first resource type has 10 number of instances, and the second resource type B has 5 number of instances, and C has 7 number of instances, which is nothing but total number of that resources whatever we have. Suppose if A is nothing but printer, means we will be having 10 number of printers that has been connected with that system, and 5 number of some other resources of type B, and C has 7 resources, right? Now uh, allocation, so here these are all the number of process which needs some of the resources of this type A, B, C. So here the maximum need of the first process P naught is 7 of type A, 5 of type B, 3 of type C. Similarly, P1 process is also needs 3 to 2 of type ABC respectively, and P2 it is the maximum need. So maximum need means the total number of resources whatever it needs to perform its entire task. That is what maximum, max value. Okay, now what is this allocation? Allocation is nothing but with that max value, so it will allocate only some number of resources to that particular process. It will not allocate the entire resources, because it has to allocate the resources at a time for all these 5 processes. So it cannot allocate the entire number of resources whatever it needs, right? So out of 7 it is not allocating for any of resources of type A, and for this out of 5 it is just allocating only one resource of type B for the first process P naught, and C it is not been allocated, right? And for process P1 we have allocated only 2 number of resources of type A, and B and C we have not allocated. So because it since it needs actually 2 of type B and 2 of type C, but it is not been allocated. And for process P2 out of 9 only 3 has been allocated, and for this B it doesn't need anything because it is 0 only, but it needs 2 of type C. We have allocated everything, right? And what is the next one? 2 uh, 2 of type A has been allocated. So similarly we have allocated to some extent, we have not allocated all the number of resources whatever it needs, right? So the next one, how can we calculate the need value? So need value can be calculated. So as I told, we need to subtract the value of max with the allocation so that we will be getting need. So here if you look at the max value of the first process is 7, 7 minus 0 that is 7, 5 minus 1 that is 4, and 3 minus 0 that is 3. So that is what you are getting for the first value 7, 4, 3. And for the second process, if you subtract the max value with the allocation, so you will be getting the value as 1, 2, 2. And for the third process 6, 0, 0. And for the fourth process it is 0, 1, 1. And for the fifth process it is 4, 3, 1. So this is how we can calculate the need value for all these processes P0 to P4. Now after the allocation of all these resources to these process P0 to P4, we will be having the number of resources as 332. So this is what the availability, current available of the resources of type A, B, C. Okay. Now in which order we need to execute all these processes? If you follow this particular order, we can remains in the same state, I mean safe state. The system will remain in the safe state. So we need to determine if you follow this particular order whether the system remains in the safe state or not. So we need to check it out. Okay. So P1, P3, P4, P2 and P0. This is what the order of execution of all these process. So let us check it. First we are executing this P1 process. So what is the meaning, I mean how many number of additional resources it is? Already we have allocated 2 of type A. So what is the maximum need? That is 3, 2, 2. So out of this we have allocated only 2. So what is the need? 1, 2, 2. That is what the need. So we need to check whether the need is less than this available. So that is what the second step as per the safety algorithm. Need is less than this available or not. So that is what we are checking. Is we have 3 1 2 2 which is lesser than 3 3 2. So it is lesser, need is lesser, condition is satisfied. So we can allocate up to this need value. So after the allocation of this need value, so what could be the remaining thing? So after the we have allocated, so it will start its execution, it will finish out, and afterwards it will release the entire resources. So how many number of resources it needs? Actually 322. So it will release the entire number of resources, which means 322. So this will be added with this resources, available resources, isn't it? I mean, so we have to add this allocation value with this available resources. So if you add that one, so we will be getting 5, and here it is 3, and here it is 2 for the P1 process, and we have completed P1 process. Okay, and what could be the next process, that is P3. So for P3 now we need to check whether its need value is less than the available. So what is its need value? 0, 1, 1, which is lesser than available, so we can allocate this. After the allocation, so we are actually getting for the P1 process it is 7, 4 and 3. So because we should add this allocation value with this available. So why I am adding these two? Because I'm just getting, so we are allocating all these things from the availability. Okay, afterwards it will release the already allocated resources also, including that resources, it will release everything. So I'm just going to add only this allocated resources with this availability. Okay, the next one, so P3 has also been completed, and the next in sequence, that is P4. P4 need is 431, so 431 which is lesser than these three, these availability, so we can allocate it. So after the allocation we will be getting the number of resources 7, 4 and 5. Okay, and the next one in the sequence, that is P2. So P2 need is 600, which is lesser than the current availability, so we can allocate it. And after the allocation, so we will be getting the entire resources by P2, so that is 10, 4 plus 0, that is 4, and 5 plus 2, that is 7, right. And the next one, so we have completed P2 also. Finally we need to execute P0. P0, what is its need? That is 743, which is lesser than current available, so we can add that one. So we will be getting 10, 5 and 7. So that's it. So after the completion of all these 5 process, so we will be getting the total number of resources whatever we have initially of the resources of type ABC. So we will be getting all those resources. This is how the safety algorithm will work, and we can also detect whether the system is in safe state or not according to this algorithm. Okay, thank you.